Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kurojiri, your resident tinker and Medarot, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Well, it's been a very eventful month of June as far as Medarot is concerned, especially with the Full Metal Panic Collaboration Vol.2. But this week, that officially does come to an official close as things start winding down for a finale of sorts. Now, it is going to be a relatively light week as far as new stuff is concerned, so just kind of stuff that you'd expect up to this point, but still some very exciting pieces of and tidbits of news all the same, and a couple of which surrounding yours truly here that will be going live through this next week. But I am, of course, getting ahead of myself. That being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was officially announced for this week, starting with the gacha banners and just who to expect in this final lineup of the Full Metal Panic Collaboration Volume 2. Now, we only have one brand new model that will be going live this week for the tail end of collaboration, and that is FMP 06 TESSA Danan, with a kit of Shoot Spike, Field Control, Panic, Float Legs, and the leg ability of Mariner. Now, for those that are familiar with the Full Metal Panic series, TESSA also is definitely a very renowned figure with a very powerful fleet at her disposal. That being said, it does translate into Medarot S extremely well, though, as you see here, with an alternative submarine mode, with a full kit change of Hyper Power Missile, Anti-Sea, Sea Legs, and Marine Up. And compared to other previous models of the collaboration, TESSA Danan is only introducing one brand new skill, which is Hyper Power Missile. And simply explained, it's just simply Power Missile, but with the Defense Ignore packed onto it. So it's going to be hitting notably harder than, say, standard Power Missile or anything else of the like, given the fact that it's going to bypass any and all enemy resistance stats when it comes to reducing damage. So it's going to be very exciting to see just what TESSA will be bringing to the field, especially with a very largely support-oriented and very largely new Queen of the Sea, a Mastery of the Sea kind of approach that TESSA is bringing. So it's going to be very exciting for when she does hit the field. Now, it is also worth noting as a forewarning that TESSA also is a meta change type model, which means you will either get the entire set of TESSA all at once or not at all. So don't be upset if you don't snag if you don't snag a piece of her right away, because meta change banners behave just a little bit differently than your standard pickup banners. Now, alongside TESSA, though, for the boosted raids, there's going to be a couple of very familiar faces as well. The first of which is EPP0 Empress Patra with Precognition, Punishment, Blow Away, Float Legs, and Through Fight. And we also have GDS-01 Artemis with Rebirth, Laser, Guard 500, Float Legs, and Super Armor. Now, Empress Patra is definitely something you want to try to keep in your inventory at any given point, especially for the kind of very solid skills that she brings to the table for mono female teams, especially with Punishment for the ailments infliction, Blow Away for the crowd control, and of course Precognition for adding a bunch of buffs at once. But ultimately, I do have to say that Artemis is going to be the big MVP of the boosted rates, primarily because that Guard 500 arm and Float Legs with Super Armor is honestly extremely busted. Like, I can't even go into explanation why it's so good, because you just have to see for yourself, and it's the reason why those parts are extremely common in competitive PvP and even the harder game modes as well. So, worst comes to worst, in my honest opinion, if you miss out on TESSA and end up getting Artemis instead, I would still consider that a huge win, because those parts will be fantastic in any given point that you use them, because they have fantastic specs, good numbers, and the Super Armor ability makes it extremely viable on a lot of different, more and higher difficulty occasions. Now, for the Fierce battles we have this week, it's going to be a very mixed utility male-female week as well, with a lot of very different parts and a lot of very different skills between the group of them. But to start us up off on this top row, we're starting off with OWL03 Minerova with Laser, Free Shot, Press, Float Legs, and Torturer. SPR0 Blue Corundum with Optic Guard, Press, Beam, Sea Legs, and Brilliance. And SCB0 Canabunbun with Triple Bug, Multi-Legs, and Spearhead. On the bottom row, we have PCP0 War Headley with Optic Guard, Double Napalm, Tank Legs, and Heavy Arms. The predecessor, actually, to the newly designed Barrage Fire that is currently in MedaSurvivor and implemented as a new design. We also have GBK01 Melody Beats with Super Repair, Wave, Missile, Multi-Legs, and All-Rounder, and BTA0 Mekong Narob with Guard Boost, Double Provoke, Sea Legs, and Blow Beat. So, like I said, it's going to be a very mixed utility week between all the different models that are up this week as for what can be farmable. But ultimately, I do have to give the MVP of the week to Medarot in this case, primarily on the grounds that a free access to free shot without having to roll in a gacha for it, especially to new players and rookies that are just starting out, is a fantastic part that you can use just about anywhere. And even in current today's competitive meta and harder and higher difficulties for late game players, free shot and a lot of the parts you see here are stuff that are very easy to farm and very easy to afford and build up if you do have them. So ultimately, like I said, MVP of the week does belong to Medarot specifically, but others such as Blue Corundum with the Sea Legs and Brilliance for the HP restoration, Kinda Bun Bun for Bug with Turn Skip, Warheadly for Tank Legs and Heavy Yard for your high weight users, Melody Beat for your all-rounder use, and Mekong Narob for your aggro tank. So lots of very solid parts can be used between all 6 of these models, and do make sure that you make use of collecting at least 1 or 2 or even all of these just to have in the library, as having them and even on raise is better than not having them at all and finding yourself at a need and at a loss. Now, as far as the Medarot S stuff is concerned, as for the collaboration, this is the 4th and final wave of the collaboration and the events that are surrounding it. This week, we have the opportunity to earn one last round of limited time rewards, such as the Captain Medal, which is a Guard Nature medal with a mastery in shooting, support, and healing, and leg masteries in float, tank, and sea. We can also earn one last profile banner here featuring characters from the Full Metal Panic series, and one last round of limited gacha and Meta League tickets through the tail end of June. So it is going to be a very exciting but relatively quiet week, like I said, as we kind of round out and prepare to say farewell to the collaboration. The event for this week will be Metameister, so pure sets will be encouraged, and pure sets and the bonus parts will also get bonus stats relative to the rarity and higher value of the part and sets in question. Metameister is honestly an extremely easy event in my opinion, because you only have to do it once a day at the minimum. So how that works is each dungeon will give you a set of modifiers or requirements, and each one will also have their own little missions, such as don't take any damage, use shooting parts X number of times, use support, land a critical hit, use a Medarot skill, minimize damage, number of bots remaining. Very, very easy modifiers. And then at the end, when you clear the last enemy, they give you a point value relative to the number of missions you cleared. And then if you reach the high score for that day, you're done. You don't have to do anything else. But each day going through this next week will give you a progressively more difficult challenge, adding more modifiers such as higher heat and cool, lower armor on the enemies, and so on and so forth. So do make sure that you pay attention to those and keep those in mind as you are participating in the Metameister event week. Since this is the last medal for the event before things kind of do fall back down to a regular business as per usual. Most likely that will be the start of July into the week. But that is essentially it for Medarot S. On the MedaSurvivor front, however, it is going to be a new wave of stuff that is coming forward as well. This week, to celebrate 2 new incoming bots, Hardness 10 from Medarot 5 will be officially joining MedaSurvivor with a very high emphasis on armor and damage reduction as far as the passive skills that she brings to the table. So if you're looking for someone that kind of helps keep damage on the down low and gives you lots of armor to tank hits and even body blows from those hordes, Hardness 10 is definitely going to be a bot for you. Inversely, we also have Kokono Elegy from Medarot S as well that will be joining MedaSurvivor with a fantastic all-rounder type kit that she brings, between EXP gained upon collecting the energy crystals, attack skill damage up, and so on. So lots of very wonderful skills that Kokono Elegy brings to the table. So you really can't go wrong going for either one of these in the incoming week, or 2 weeks, I should say, as if you are a player of MedaSurvivor and want to try to collect them. Now, they are introducing a brand new event type, though, as you see here, which is kind of like a mini Monopoly board, so to speak. So instead of earning draws in a roll for tickets and such, this time we can earn dice rolls for this particular new minigame event type. And essentially, every time you roll the dice, your character will move a set number of spaces, and you earn the reward on that particular tile. So it is going to be just a little more engaging, a little more fun in comparison to the Meta Speed King or the regular farm and dump events that we've been seeing currently as the usual norm. So looking forward to seeing this officially drop as well when starting tomorrow, actually, at time of recording, when the new patch just dropped for MedaSurvivor. Now, that is basically it as far as the new stuff is concerned between both of the games Imagineers currently running. But there was a very big piece of news that I was very genuinely surprised to hear about earlier this morning. And just to give you just a little bit of a feedback on that one, I will actually go back to this slide in just a minute. Last week, it was brought to my attention that there was an open forum that people could submit questions or even comments to Producer-san, and he would read them on stream every week and just kind of spend a few minutes and talk about them. Well, I ended up sending one to Producer-san this last week, and I was 100% sure that he wasn't going to even look at it or respond to it, because that's normally how it is with a lot of these things. But I was genuinely surprised when I got a tag early this morning that he did actually read my comment and talk about it. And just to read the TLDR of my comment before I read his, I basically introduced myself as Isagami Kura, that I'm a YouTuber that's been doing this for 4 years and translate their news into EN. And just a thank you to him for delivering staying dedicated to delivering the meta news every week, and just kind of keeping us in the know about that, and looking forward to the day that us Western fans can join Japan in celebrating our favorite pet fighting robots globally. Well, the answer from Producer-san, as he talked about it this morning, I'm just going to read verbatim as it was pinged and translated to me. He replied, "Excellent. It's very great. It is great that you've been doing this for 4 long years. I'm very happy to hear stories like that people from outside of Japan are watching us. I wonder if they can understand the Japanese I'm speaking. How do they translate it? I wonder if I should subtitle it. Maybe I should upload my script. It might make it easier to translate. The scripts have been cleaned up fairly recently. I was thinking about using an AI voice to read Medarot news before, but the intonation was wrong. If I spend money, maybe it might be accurate. Thanks so much. Will the news this week be translated into English as well? Yes, actually, it will be. Thank you very much, and I look forward to working with you in the future. We would like to spread our wings to the world." So, needless to say, I got very excited finding out that Producer-san responded and saw my comment and spent a couple minutes talking about it. And it just warmed my heart to see all the comments in the stream chat as well, commenting, now we need a World ROBATTLE Championship and, international Medarot or overseas Medarotters. It warmed my heart to see. I'm very excited for it. So, Mr. Producer-san, if you do somehow find my tiny little corner of the internet and just kind of tune in every now and then, I'm here, I've always been here, and I will continue to be here and deliver meta news for the West as long as you keep releasing it in the home front of Japan. And that being said, if you guys are looking for a Western ambassador, my DMs are always open. I say that to everybody. So hit me up on that. I'm more than eager to hear from you. And if someone does end up sending Producer-san this way, or he does end up talking about it, I would love to coordinate and try to make something like that happen. And I'm more than certain that us Western folks here would absolutely be advocates for that as well. So wonderful. I was so excited to see that this morning, and I'm looking forward to hearing more and continuing to see more meta news from Producer-san. So just to take a step back, for instance, and kind of go back to the regularly scheduled programming, as always, we are always looking for translators to assist us with any current projects or endeavors, such as the Medarot 4 or the Medarot manga translation projects. So if you are knowledgeable in coding or cleaning or Japanese and have some time on your hands, or if you know somebody that might be willing to help, definitely feel free to join our Discord in the link provided, or send your friend this way as well and ask, and we are more than happy to fill them in on what still needs done. Especially with the reveal of the Medarot Navi manga officially been scanned properly, so we have cleaned RAWs ready to go. We would love to see the story of Medarot Navi officially translated, but we do need help with that. And alternatively, if you do not know anybody, nor have any talent of your own, we are also more than happy to donate to the cause with various crowdfunding below with the coffee link. So definitely feel free to donate there as well, and we can commission to have some of those lines of text translated. Since that'll take some workload off the translators, so all they have to do is cleaning and typesetting. And join the Discord, ask around, talk to me, and we'll definitely get you in the right direction of where you need to go and who to speak with. Now, continuing onward, though, in the same direction, one final reminder is of the community Project Rising Beetle Ori Meta contest that has been ongoing for the last month and a half. We are now in the final week and the 1 week countdown before the deadline officially closes for the submissions to be sent in and brought in for that contest to be liberated. The current contest theme is steampunk to celebrate my 4-year anniversary as a steam and steel themed and aesthetic tinkerer to give you guys the news. The contest duration has been from the 6th of May to the 1st of July, so coming up very, very soon that contest will be ending. And the winner, or winners, will be receiving personalized concept art streamed and drawn by yours truly. So I'm very excited to see all of those officially hit the scene and kind of go over all those, and even spend a stream, possibly if we get enough submissions, talking about them and just kind of reviewing all of them and see what the general consensus is and deliberate winner or winners. So again, one final week. Make sure you put those submissions in before the contest does end this next week, so I can look into and consider them for final submission and deliberation. Now, on the topic of art, as one final reminder, I do have my Meta art stream with Ruben tomorrow. There has been a minor change in the time. It will be at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern time on my channel here on the 25th of June. So definitely make sure that you tune in with me and Ruben tomorrow at 2 specifically, not 3. So you can hang out with us as we design a never-before-seen Meta. It's so great to have Ruben on. I've had him with me a handful of times already as a guest host, so I'm excited to have him with me once again as we design an Meta from the ground up. Furthermore, I have been speaking with Helm-chan and got all of our technical difficulties situated and sorted, so the collab Meta stream I have with her is also officially back up on the docket as well. That will be this coming Saturday, the 28th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So do make sure that you tune in here to the MNN both tomorrow at 2 and this Saturday at 7:30 Eastern Time, so you can hang out with us and design some brand new and never before seen Metas. One final note on the topic of art, as a friendly reminder, I am always open for commission as well, so if you are looking for a live 2D model ready to rig, 3D models with the works, or even just standard art as well, I would absolutely love to try to coordinate and work something out with you, with what you're looking for, the kind of style you're looking for, even just what we'd be looking at with the cost. So do make sure you reach out to me on Twitter, Blue Sky, Discord, whatever your social media platform of choice is, and we can most certainly try to make something happen. I will do just about anything as you see here, but of course anything that's not NSFW or gore. So just keep that in mind, and my DMs are always open for anyone that is looking. But that does basically bring everything to a close for this week's episode. So like I said, relatively light as far as stuff in MedaSurvivor and Medarot S is concerned, but still very exciting news all the same as here on the workshop floor at the Medarot News Network. But that being said, if you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page, or the Metabots Forever community that is currently now peaked over 48,000 members and still growing by the day. So do make sure you join that community if Facebook is your platform of choice, and definitely stay in the know. You can also join us on Discord in the link provided and in the comments below to keep an even closer ear to the ground on the act. This includes any new links to merchandise, fan art, contests, weekly episodes, or anything else of the like. That is the first place you're going to hear it before it goes anywhere else on the net. And, of course, the easiest way you can get in contact with me. Lastly, you can also get in contact with me as well on Twitter or Blue Sky as well at Isagamikura. So do make sure that you touch base with me or reach out if you'd like to commission a piece of art, or if you'd like to coordinate a collaboration sometime. Whether that means having you here on my channel of the MNN with a guest host, or me stopping in on your channel for a friendly chat in a game. Definitely feel free to reach out to me as well, and we can most certainly try to make something happen. Lastly, do give Helm-chan a follow as well, and the official Medarot page at Medarotcha and Helm-chan, so that you can keep in touch with both of their content that goes on through the weeks and every time they go live with something new. The Medarotcha channel for anything to do with our favorite pet fighting robots straight from the source, and Helm-chan for any of their unique streams and collaborations that they work with on their channel as well. But with that being said, as always, I do appreciate you all for stopping in, just as you always do. And until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.